I'm gonna go over my routine to get dialed into jigging for lake trout. Now, I'm a very process-oriented person because I do this full-time for a job, so you kind of get dialed in, you become very repetitive. So I'm gonna show you guys what exactly I do literally the day before I go out and how I catch the first fish, hopefully. So we're on Lake Champlain right now. What we're gonna do is we're gonna use a weather app. I use Weather Underground. I think that's what I use. Weather Underground. It is great for your location. I'll pull up a picture of it right now. Right now I'm at a Shelburne. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna check the wind direction for the day that we're going to fish and the day that we're going before. So if it switches drastically the day before, fish can actually move around based on wind because currents move, micro little bait, and then big bait, or like, you know, alewives follow that, and then the lakers follow that. So it's kind of a food chain based on the wind. Right now we have a very slight wind coming out of the north. So what we are gonna do is we're gonna plan the day before, and we are going to run humps during the summertime. It's the most effective way. This is still kind of a beginner way of doing things. So we are gonna start at the southernmost hump that we wanna feel comfortable running to. Right now we're in a 16.5-foot boat. I have 19 gallons worth of gas. The goal is to plan for a third there, a third back, and a third in reserve for gas. Figure out how much gas your engine uses so you don't go too far and you're not stranded. Luckily, Lake Champlain has some marinas and stuff if I ever needed to fill up, and they have sea tow, which I really don't want to use. So plan for that, plan for the weather. So we're gonna start in the southernmost hump, and I'm gonna show you guys in detail on imaging and sonar right now. I'm running Livescope XR, you don't need to. I'm gonna show you guys on 2D as well how to jig up that first lake trout. So we are using the big bait kit today with a bait caster. And so these are 1-ounce jigs. And somebody asked me recently, so you've been doing a lot of videos using spinning gear versus a bait caster. Why is that? And so when I fish usually like 1/2 ounce stuff and less, I use spinning gear. When I use something heavier than that, I use a bait caster. Usually it's because bigger lake trout, and it's more ergonomic. And I'll show you why in a minute to use a bait caster than it is a spinning rod. You'll thank your wrists and stuff at the end of the day, trust me. And so we got wind coming from the north. So we are going to run onto the south side of the hump that we want to go to. So right now we're on the south side of it. We're gonna swing around into the wind so we can spot lock without our boat being all funky, without missing that first fish. So that first fish kind of sets the confidence level for the rest of the day. So I had a rough morning at a different lake, and now I'm here. So I'm trying to kind of redeem myself at the same time here, teach you guys and girls. So we got a little ways to go here, but we're going towards those waypoints, 298, 297. And if you have Garmin, I'm sure it's the same with Lowrance. I'm sure it's the same with, I don't know if it's the same with Lowrance, or it might be the same with Humminbird at least. I have the Garmin app on my phone. I can pin all my waypoints the night before and then upload them to my device the next morning. So I don't need to come in here and search all around for all my waypoints. So it's like, you wanna make the best out of your weekend. For the people that are weekend warriors that don't do this full time like I do. You wanna plan as much as you can because fish are very unpredictable. So just plan as much as you can. That helps you have a successful fishing weekend. So we're coming up on the hump now. And I'm hoping they're here. I'm just assuming that they are. And I'm trying to be better about wearing my life jacket, just so you guys know. We're in 100 foot of water in the summertime, and we have Sonar traditional, a water temp of 70 degrees. So toasty lake trout should be down further, bait should be down further. Oh, just went over another one. I'm gonna turn my gain up a smidgen here. And for this particular hump, they like to be right on the edge of it. There's another one right there. So let's stop. We're gonna run up and hit spot lock, but since I have an Altera, we're just gonna hit the spot lock button. And then we're gonna kill the motor. And I wear the leash as much as I can, or It's actually mandated now. There's a couple Lakers down there. Somehow this thing got all tangled already. I'm running a 15-pound braid, 20-pound leader, and then this is the 1 ounce non-lead jig with a Mustad HD hook on a 2x diameter basically hook, and then a 6-inch glow grub. And then we have a bunch of fish down there right now. And so if you don't have spot lock, because spot lock's fairly expensive, I think the cheapest you can get probably one for, depending on the size of your boat, because it's boat size dependent, it's like $1,500, and you got a battery, so you're looking at like $1,700 for the setup just to stay anchored. You can also use an anchor line, which I saw somebody doing this morning. You need a lot of anchor line to jig this deep, so you might have to go up something shallower. Or what you can do is called back trolling, which is back your boat up into the wind. It's kind of, it takes some finesse and some practice, but once you get the hang of it, you can really put some, get really good at it and keep your line vertical. So when I just talked about ergonomics with bait casters versus spinning rods, I don't have a spinning rod out, but there's two bones in your arm, in this section of your arm forward, right? And they're like this, and we want to keep them as straight as possible. And then oh, here he comes, here he comes. I just missed one because I was talking to you guys. Here comes his buddy. We want to run away from him. Oh, we missed it. Here he comes. Oh, come on. I think he just bit my tail off because it feels funny. Oh, no, it's still good. Sleeping on the hook set there, getting a little anxious. So another thing about the hook set, and I'm going to talk a lot about that. I have a whole video separately about that because it's a weird thing with lake trout because people watch the screen, anticipate it just like I do. What you want to do is just keep reeling until the rod loads up because they don't suck food in like bass do. Like I'm sure you've all seen those videos where a bass is just sucking a worm off the bottom, like the underwater footage. Lake trout don't do that. They scoop, or they, oh, he's coming back for it. Come here, buddy. He's not very big. Come on, chase me all the way up. Oh, I messed with me twice. So I'm gonna ignore him. He's not very big, just a small one. He's chasing me down. And for the most part, they don't eat swim baits on the way down. They'll eat spoons on the way down. They'll eat tubes on the way down. Something that's a little more erratic. Swim baits just kind of like dead fall. We want our drag fairly tight, so I'm used to my drag in my system. So 15-pound braid. I got it locked down. We can always adjust it on the fly. Very rarely do you hook a lake trout and they just, most of the time they don't realize they're hooked. They get hooked, fight for it a little bit, use their weight, and then once you realize that they're going to take off again, that's when you loosen the drag. You let them have a turn instead of you. It's not your turn, you know. Another thing we can do is what's called a fake chase. If we're not seeing any fish in the area, we can just literally reel it towards the surface and then let it go about halfway up and let it drop back down. Now this is screen staring, active fishing. This is not just cast a bobber out and like forget about it and then look around, then it's down and set the hook, or cast a Senko or a worm out and then the line starts taking off and there's a fish. This is like active fishing the entire time. It is not for everybody. It is, some people call it like video game fishing, which is very similar, kind of is, but it's super addicting and super fun. I've had so many people, you know, watch my videos and then go out and do this. They're like, this is, I'm selling all my trolling stuff and I'm switching to this. Or until I see a lot more Lakers. So see that little blip there, down by 100? That was a Laker. One. Oh, there's two. So once we see fish, we want to stop and spot lock on them as soon as possible. Another quick tip for spot locking people that have spot lock, always click spot lock, unclick it, and then re-click it. So what that's going to do is, as you're drifting, it'll select this position. So let's say we're drifting, it'll select the position here. And then it's gonna, that's when you hit it the first time, it's gonna wanna go backwards into that spot. So click it, unclick it, and then re-click it. And then it won't do all crazy stuff. So click, unclick, click. And since this glows in the dark, it glows chartreuse, they can see it from a pretty far distance. I've seen one come from like 40 feet away and just wreck it. Depends on their mood. I got that one. And don't be scared to set the hook multiple times. And there's a couple reasons for that. One, they're super bony mouths. And two, you've already punctured a hole in their face. You're not gonna do any more damage than that. So see how that fish is freaking out right there? That's when you wanna start loosening your drag for when they wanna go back down. It's a nice one too. Oh, come on, get in there. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Nice laker. Pretty fish. Going back in. So, we are gonna release that fish as fast as possible. So net goes over there. Bail literally gets clicked open immediately for another fish while I wipe my hands off. So this is the regimen pretty much all summer long. Now there's other locations that I target during the summer months. Humps are the easiest ones to find for people that want to learn, and they hold resident fish. I did a whole episode on that. It's just fish that just stay there all year long because there's always food in that area. So right now we have like 5 lake trout underneath us. So we're gonna stay up a little bit higher than usual and let these guys see us here. So the hump that we're on, like the top plateau part, is probably a quarter mile, probably even more long. So you can do what's called a micro move. Move 100 feet, get on your gas motor, puddle along until you see another set of fish. I try to only stop on if I see 2 fish. If it's a really slow day and I just like need to get a fish in, I'll stop on 1. But that competition of having 2 fish down there, it's like, it goes from like maybe 5% that fish will to chase you, to like, I don't know, 70%. It increases your chances a lot. Got it. And since Champlain is such a great fishery, they actually stock their lake trout because they were decimated by overfishing and lamprey, sea lamprey. A lot of these fish come in pairs, which is super nice. You and your buddy can double up a lot. Ooh, nice one. Nice wild fish, has all its fins. So Champlain does a fin clip to determine age class, and they literally, this is their last year stocking. I think that's what I heard, because their fish populations are just doing so well. And a lot of you ask about my net. This is a very cheap Fabril net from Walmart. It was 30 bucks. It came with mesh, or like fabric mesh, which is not good for lake trout. And your hooks get just freaking tangled in it. It's an absolute nightmare, especially if you're using trebles, which I try not to. And then I went on Amazon, I'll leave the link for the netting below, and it's just rubberized netting that Fabril also sells as replacement netting off Amazon. Takes 20 minutes to rip out the old net and put the new netting in, and it's had hundreds of lake trout in it. So if you're doing catch and release, conservation stuff, get a nice rubberized net. Do not, and they say this, I'm not bashing the company. Don't buy an Ego net. Ego nets are not predator nets. They are not meant for fish that have teeth. They will bite right through their rubberized netting. That one's way heavier duty. Once I feel that the spot has slowed down a little bit, so fish will come through in a kind of a constant pace because they're always kind of moving for the most part until they get to like the fall, where they start to stage and go into their spawn phase, which they're all in one spot and they're a giant pain in the butt. They really don't want to eat, but they will just to like defend an area, where they just stay stagnant, like they literally just chill there like logs. But for the summertime, like this time of year, they're always moving around looking for food at pretty much a constant pace. So you'll have one every 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then that cycle might change. Another one coming in right now. Got him. Oh, and he brought 2 buddies with him. So I wish I was down there getting myself a double. And so I'm gonna back up so you guys can see this, the rod kind of cork right over there. So that fish just burped on the screen. So I'm gonna hold him. And then I'm gonna loosen my drag. So once they relieve their barotrauma, which lake trout are one of the only species that can do that, they can turn around and go back down. This is normally when you lose them. So you need a rod that can react to those head shakes fast enough, like that. And I'm putting a tremendous amount of pressure on this fish. And do not, please do not, unless you want to buy another rod, don't grab anywhere up here. Like the rod's not meant to be held anywhere up here. It's not so bad with these rods, but like fly rods, it's like notorious. People grab them there and they just snap the rod. So you're adding like an unwanted leverage point in the rod. This might be a bigger one. I haven't quite pulled them up yet. Yep. And so sometimes the bigger ones do this. They walk me around the boat because they can. And they do those, oh, I don't like those head shakes. And we really don't want them on the surface. When they get on the surface, they can relieve the tension on the hook that you're putting on them and unhook themselves. It's a really great way to lose fish. And now he's in the water, in the net. As fast as I can grab him in the tail. So he already spit that hook out as soon as you relieve that pressure. That is a fat fish. Oh, the hook's still in there actually. That is a heavy fish. That one sliced me with his teeth, so I wanted to get him back in as soon as possible. And so the jig glows in the dark and the bait glows in the dark, and that fish sliced me. So you'll see me run away from the fish. So if I don't run away, and it's the wait and run technique, not that I pioneered it, but I'm the one who shared it on YouTube basically. If you don't do that, they won't chase it. They kind of lose interest unless they are actually chasing something. So you gotta run away, and you wanna match their enthusiasm. If the fish is absolutely hot and on fire and chasing you, you wanna reel like just slightly slower than they are so they catch up to you. They can cover some serious water. They are fast fish. And at some point, I will determine how fast they go based on like the screen distance and time, because I'm recording it. But they can outrun you, and they'll slackline you, and then when they slackline you, they actually inhale the jig in the back of their mouth, and that's not good for them. That's when they get into the gill rakers and stuff, and you start damaging fish. 5. All right, he's already out. That fish is being difficult, so I just released him. So you got to have a little bit of patience and wait for these fish to come and load. It's literally like spawn camping, basically, if anybody that plays video games. You're literally just waiting for fish to show back up in your spot, and you're waiting and firing on them. Now, anybody that hunts, I'm sure a lot of you folks hunt, because once it turns fall time, my views go down because most of you are hunting. Everybody's told to keep your finger off the trigger when you're using a thing. I don't want to say it because YouTube will probably do something with it. But we want to keep our hand on the reel. This is your device to catch the fish, the reel. Okay, keep your hand on the reel. You'll see me kind of lackadaisically kind of hold it because I have Livescope. But I've had so many clients, guiding so many clients where their hands are over here, they're doing whatever, and they miss a fish. Or they give the opportunity for the fish to see that the jig is fake. So right now there's 2 fish coming in. And I'll show you exactly what happens when I ignore these fish. Watch. I'm gonna bring it down to them a little bit more. All right, so he's coming up to me. They might just hit a dead stick, I don't know. Nope, so see, they come up and they investigate. And if they would hit it, I'd feel it. He came back up to it a second time, third time. Now I'm gonna run away. And now he's engaged. See how he's turned around? So if you're sleeping at the switch, as I call it, the fish will just ignore you. They want to chase. It is counterproductive to any other type of fishing, except for like musky fishing where they want to chase it and like you do the figure 8 and stuff. That's what makes them so much fun. Here comes one. Got him. Smaller one. He burped and he brought a buddy in with him. Jig's already out. Grab him by the tail, hold him like a boss. Back in they go. That's how you get dialed, folks, jigging for Lakers. Check the wind the day before, check the wind the day of, and plan. Right now, wind's coming from the north. I head south, and I hit all those humps on the way up the lake and swing right back to the boat launch. If you guys want to support the channel, visit benditfish.com where you can buy the Big Bait Kit. And if you want to see more lake trout videos, either click here or click here, and I'll see you on one of those next videos.